guys, welcome back. This is the Above Average FPL podcast. My name's Adam, and as always, I'm joined by Baker, but also joined by Andy Martin. How are you, sir?
I'm good, mate. Look at that scary man with the beard and all the hair and it's not a good look. I need a haircut, but yeah, nice to be here, guys. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
I had a shave and a haircut today, actually, so I'm all right now.
It's kind of hibernation month, isn't it? Really, like you
keep
give
warm.
up a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Right, yeah.
Oh, right. Yes. So a lot later than normal. Obviously, it's just gone 10 o'clock here in the UK. We'll start the pod by saying we're not going to talk about traitors because I would love to talk about traitors. I've been overruled, so no talk in the chat, no talk on the pod. We know people that will be watching it at a later time, so no spoilers. If they go on socials, that's their own fault, basically.
Yeah, that is true.
So this is all game week 23, and for me personally, it's a pretty chill week. I've wildcarded last week, so I'm rolling. How about you?
We both own Bruno, but not Fernandes.
It's it's an awkward week, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
A lot of people are finding it awkward to predict minutes, to predict like injuries, and the press conferences, as always, haven't helped. Eddie Howe's brilliant. Thanks for that, Eddie. I mean, who knows? Yeah.
I mean, actually, for wildcard, bar Tav injury, like it couldn't have gone better for you, really, could it? You know, in terms of the results last week, in that everybody who wasn't on a wild card, most of their players did not do fantastically. And then you go into this week and suddenly it's like, oh, there's some doubts. There's some doubts. So it has worked out incredibly well. Andy, what's your take on Man City for this weekend?
I think it's horrible, but because it's Wolves at home, what can you do? Is the kind of boat I'm in. Like, if they all start, I've got triple Man City attack in Cherky, Foden, and Haaland. 3 o'clock Saturday from Man City is always good and always fruitful. I find they always have those games where it's at home against an easy team. It's not really televised. I'm not really interested, and those are the games where they rack up the goals. And I like, for me, it's the perfect time slot for Man City. 3 o'clock Saturday at home against a team lower down the league. Perfect. So you're really desperate for your guys to play. And I can't take the risk of benching or selling them because it's Wolves at home. So my thoughts are, I'm not confident, but I would feel terrible if I sold or benched and they started. And we know what they can do. And you wouldn't be surprised if it's 4-5-0. Haaland hat-trick. A couple of guys gets assists and goals. And yeah, it's just whether... Because I think Semenyo is obviously the strongest one.
Yes.
And people on Semenyo are sitting very pretty. But I just can't take the risk of... And I've talked about this a lot this season of regretful transfers. And I think that would be in the case of regretful transfers. If I got rid of Foden, he's the most likely of the three to go. And I sold him to someone... Again, it's a decision of who to sell him to. So that's another thing that's kind of... Because I don't really want to get Bruno Fernandes this week. Then, I just don't think it's worth the transfer, particularly. It's not the week for it.
I think it is worth the risk if we don't get anything. I still feel that way. Like it's not.
I mean, people are going to be thirsty tomorrow morning, aren't they, for as much information or any information that they can find. It's going to be like desperation mode. So I'd imagine there'll be information flying around. I guess with last week, like, how much do you trust it? And like, how much does it really matter as well sometimes? Because I guess if you buy these players for these fixtures, obviously you want the City home game against the bottom three side, right? And so if worst case scenario is that you get 30 minutes of Foden, let's say, does that sound so bad? Like, maybe it's okay.
It is.
maybe it's just fine.
It's not. It's not. Like everyone says it, but it's not. It's not. Like those things never work out. We like 30 minutes of Saka last week. How was that work out? Like he was fantastic. He got 1 point. Right. That's the standard reality of a man coming off the bench. It's not as like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer probably still owns them as the record for most goals by a Premier substitute, and it was about 10. And that was enough to get him super sub. Do you know what I mean? Like most of the time, if your player comes on for 30 minutes, he gets 1 point. That's the reality.
Yeah. And I even can't see that coming on for like it'd be 10, 15 rather than 30. Because I think Pep will make a decision of these guys aren't going to play because I need these guys to have a rest or they're out of form. And I don't think it's suddenly like, oh yeah, maybe actually 30, 35. I don't think it's that at all. So if a guy does miss out, I want him to miss out completely, and that could happen. That's possible. So that's the best scenario, maybe.
But even if they return, do you know what they definitely don't get? They don't get DEFCON, like you attackers if they come on. And actually, unless they're a striker, they're probably not getting bonus either. You come on and score, it's a 6 point. That's as much as it's going to be. Like is going to be so. It is real limited when it's midfielders.
I guess it depends on who you might be looking to bring in, because if I just took a little look at like, this is talking about Foden here, but talking about also like Bruno Guimaraes. I know obviously he's injured, so it's a little bit different. But if you're in a position like FPL Nightmare is, where he has like someone like Tarkowski sitting on the bench, or someone that can just come in and has a half decent fixture, like you just, I mean, you'd probably just let it roll, right? And just, but do you still play him in that situation?
At home to Leeds, then that's a very weird situation where,
no, that's a difficult fixture. I can understand the benching.
Yeah, I'm sure you could. But Tarko home to Leeds, that's a non-benching situation. There's a million people you should be benching before it should be Tarko.
But would you do like a Mukiele, for example, or a Joachim Anderson, like home to Brighton for Anderson, or away to West Ham for Mukiele or Alderete, whoever you've got? Like, there's still other players there. I mean, I guess it depends, because I'm talking about players that are kind of quite popular on Wildcard, right? And that's easy for me to say because I've got these players.
Yeah. But you're then, if you play your hand and you won't come convinced of your hand, then like you say, if you're not convinced of it, then I fully get it if you've got good options off the bench to do it. But I
mean, the problem for me is, the problem for me is I've got Bruno Guimaraes, who I don't think is going to play.
Yeah.
I've got Joachim Anderson first sub.
Yeah.
But so I have to make a move, because I don't want to then, if someone else misses out, if I've got Foden, I've got Cherky, Ekitike's rumoured about being benched. All of a sudden, my second sub is Dalot. Yes, he'll play, but I do not want to go Dalot deep on my bench. Like, I feel like I have to make the move to secure it, where if something else happens, Anderson comes on. Well, I think at the moment, if I leave it, Anderson is coming on. So I kind of want to make like my team good, so that if anyone does miss out, okay, then Anderson comes on. Whereas a situation where I've got Bruno Guimaraes, I think he misses out, Anderson comes on. Oh no, Foden's not in the squad, or Foden's not starting, Cherky's not starting, Ekitike's benched. Like, oh no, okay, this is trouble. So I feel like I'm forced to make a move.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a world that Bruno's playing. No. It's how says, hey, we don't, but he also says, I don't know the extent of the injury. Do you know what I do know? I do know that Bruno himself tweeted about, hopefully it's not that serious and hopefully I can get you back on the pitch soon. Nobody's ever tweeted that if they were going to play on the weekend.
Yeah. It's so weird that the manager's trying to play 4D chess, and the guy who's actually injured is just like, oh, by the way, guys, I'll see you in a few weeks.
Eddie Howe could have named his 1 to 11 and Bruno in it, and I still wouldn't believe it, to be fair. But no, I don't. But the other thing with Bruno, like, he was a potential sell next week anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That was my move in 24, so I'll just bring it forward a week early. Yeah.
So he's an easy one. You just take out. Foden's the interesting one. Foden's the interesting one.
You've got 2 frees. I've only got 1 free.
Mm.
So I think in your situation,
yeah, but do you have to? Let's just say Foden gets leaked out then in your position. Is if Foden gets leaked out, then what do you do then? Do you keep Bruno and do the Foden?
I think no, I still do Bruno, but I move Foden to the first sub, and if he comes on, yeah, I think that's the way I'd play it. If it's leaked, the Foden's definitely on the bench. Then Anderson plays, Foden's benched for me, and I still make the one move of Bruno to someone I think is going to start and do quite well this week. But because I don't want to take the hit Foden to Bruno Fernandes this week.
Why not keep Bruno for another week? If he's like not too serious, then Bruno potentially is back next week. Whereas we don't know Foden.
I don't think I want Bruno Guimaraes after this anyway. I mean, I had Guimaraes for this run, and I didn't mind him keeping for Villa at home, but I had him for this run of like double Burnley, Wolves, Leeds. Like that's why I had him. That's done. Yeah. He's done the points, fantastic.
Yeah,
it's time to move on. And originally, I was trying to make the money from Bruno Guimaraes to Palmer in 24, but I think that's on the back burner. That was my original plan, like a few weeks ago. Make sure I got enough money in the bank for the Bruno to Palmer move in 24, but I don't think that's an option at the moment. So Bruno downwards, have the money sat there, maybe 3 to 4 million in the bank.
Yeah,
ready to make a move next week, and it's possible I can make a hit next week and do a couple of changes again. But I've taken 2 hits in 2 years. But,
a hit? I was going to say, just making sure that I can hear that correctly.
Yeah,
Adam,
it could be an option.
Can we have a look at the fixtures, as in the fixture ticker, not this?
Of course, fixtures. Whatever you want to see, mate.
The only thing I do want to bring, obviously, we just mentioned before, is wildcard 24 is, there's going to be a lot of people on potentially looking at it. The one thing I was looking at the odds, the bookies odds this week around the top 8 for the Champions League. So if anybody doesn't make the top 8 for the Champions League, then they'll play either side of game week 27. So currently, the bookies are saying that Chelsea and Newcastle won't make the top 8. Chelsea have got a win at Napoli, and Newcastle got a win against PSG. Draw won't be enough. Too close. They're pretty. Tottenham just about sneak in on odds, but just about. It's pretty close on that one. Obviously, we'll have to win away at Frankfurt, and then they say Liverpool will make it. City, again, they're not hugely huge. They think they'll win, but will it be enough points? They're kind of at evens, similar to Tottenham with it, but Newcastle are massively out of favourite for getting there, something like 13-2, which is a pretty big shot in football. And I think it's about 7-2 or something like that along the lines of Chelsea, which again is a pretty big bet in football for progression to that final 8. Now,
Chelsea are 8th at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, but there's
they've got to face Scott McTominay, mate. They've got no chance.
There's 3 points between 4th and 12th.
Yeah.
So anyone that doesn't win, there's enough teams that will play that will win. Athletic Madrid, Atletico Madrid. I was like Athletic Madrid, Athletic Bilbao are playing it, but they're not in it. But Atletico Madrid, they'll probably get there. In Barcelona, they're both outside with pretty much slam dunks. Obviously, Man City, home to Copenhagen, probably. Is it Copenhagen? Or is that Liverpool home to Copenhagen?
I think it's Galatasaray, isn't it? Galatasaray?
Yeah, Man City home to Galatasaray and Liverpool home to Copenhagen. So those guys will probably win. So you've got like 4 like really strong teams with home games this week that probably win. You got to win. You got to win in order to stay through. Now, if Chelsea suddenly have that game either side of 27, it's a real big problem for that Burnley game, because the other thing is 28 and 29 is a weekend to a midweek. So if you're looking at it, you're like, where do you miss some player out? Well, that's suddenly that Burnley game becomes the very obvious one of which you rest people. If Man City have to play it, the Leeds and the Forest game probably suddenly become, how much do they suddenly start rotating more? You're just going to have more rotation, full stop. Tottenham, if they miss it, well, that actually makes Arsenal better, because the North London derby is in between those two playoff games. So it's a real big up for Arsenal in it. So that these are things that are all going to have quite big implication. Oh, Simon just said it's Barca got Copenhagen at home. But they've got good.
Yeah, given like 5-6 now.
Yeah. It's going to steer us on who we want, and we won't get it. Obviously, all of the games are on Wednesday night. So the early transfers again, like people are being looking at it and they're thinking, well, what I'll do is one of the ways I'm going to afford. I've seen a lot of people saying, one of the ways I'm going to do in 24 is I'm going to afford Bruno by doing Foden to Bruno, and I get some money out by bringing in Enzo, for example. Enzo might not look quite so good come Wednesday night. Now, if you've already got him, fine. If you're wild carding, you can get him out. But if you're not wild carding in 24, your plans might change really quickly. But let alone,
it's definitely a tough spot. Yeah, it's definitely a tough spot. I mean, I want to say that Napoli have looked shocking in the Champions League. I think they're 25th in the league. And I mean, they're fighting to stay in the top 24. So obviously, it's going to be an interesting game. I think that's the game I'll probably watch Wednesday night, because Napoli fighting to stay, and Chelsea need to win, and maybe by win quite a lot, to stay in the top 8. Because I know they're all on 13 points as well, aren't they? All that lot, like Barca. And
it's going to be Wednesday night. It's going to be the best night of football. It's going to be so.
I can't wait.
So good fun.
It's how it should be. I mean,
we'll find ways.
Frankfurt, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Oh, what? So I would be so much happier if Tottenham were playing a team that were in the hunt. Frankfurt lost in midweek, which means they can't even qualify for a playoff. Cannot qualify for a playoff. They're on 4 points, and they need to be on a minimum of 8 to get into the playoffs. They can't do anything. There's nothing in it for Frankfurt whatsoever. 1-0 Frankfurt.
So the hungry second. So the hungry second team for Frankfurt. Roll out, big performance, well rested.
I mean, look, we knocked them out at a Europa League semi last year. So was it the quarters? It was one of them. It was either the quarters or the semis. We knocked out Bodo and then Frankfurt. So it was, there's some revenge there as well. They'll want, like, regardless.
They want us out. Yes, that's a big night. It's going to have a big implication on how we play. So if you're not planning on wildcard, just consider that. Look, if you can just get Bruno in one go, well, Man United aren't playing Europe. So just makes like, if these guys, Chelsea guys and Newcastle guys, suddenly start having extra games in around 27, then everyone's just going to think, I'll just get Bruno and Bumo. That's what I'll do. I'll just get those two, because they play every game.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's the big appeal. Like, Manchester United assets, I've said it all week. You don't want them this week, but from 24, them playing once a week is massive. The fatigue on some of these Champions League teams is huge. And Palace and Villa, they are struggling massively. So when Manchester United rock up and play City, who are playing every 3 days, I wasn't that surprised that they blew them apart. Like, with the fitness they've had, a week off. City had the League Cup in the midweek, and then they go again Champions League, and then again they play weekend, then they go again Champions League, and it's just like all the time Manchester United are sat at home on the training field, coaching, resting, ready to blitz teams with a new manager. And I think from 24, you'll want the double Man U mids, and I think a lot of people go that way. I think it'll be difficult this weekend, obviously Arsenal away, and I think I want to see how they are, but even that's a closer matchup than it should be because of Arsenal playing midweek. I know that they've had because they're already through and they can make subs and they've got Carrow out this week and so Arsenal's not as bad, but they're still travelling whilst Manchester United are at home watching the game and stuff. It's just for me, Manchester United you'll see a big switch of people going to Bremer and Bruno Fernandes quite quickly.
Yeah,
because of yeah.
Should we look at this week? Should we look at this week's games, Rob T? I was just going to say, just before we do that, hilarious scrambling around trying to work out who these teams are all playing when it's literally on the screen. Like it's literally
I need glasses.
I mean, I didn't even look. Like it's literally on the ticker, and I'm there. I've literally opened SofaScore to work out who's playing who, and I've put it on the screen.
I noticed it a second ago, but
oh my god, yeah. So, game week 23. Data from Rob T as always. Usually looking at the guys that are projected to score 2 or more goals and higher than a 40% chance of a clean sheet. So we've all got triple Man City. Is not
indeed
what's happening. Well, yes, you do. That is true. Yeah, you do have triple Man City.
It's
the best three. The best three. The most attacking three. Haaland, Cherki, Foden. I was always loving this fixture home to Wolves. Fantastic. Can't wait. Points galore.
It's really interesting, isn't it? Because we started at this, and Adam's like, "Not my problem, mate. I'm not dealing with any of this pain and stuff. But if they play, it is your problem."
Yeah, it is a problem. But I also have.
Do you have any Liverpool guys?
Yeah, I got Wirtz.
One Liverpool guy.
Yeah, that was planned.
You got any Newcastle guys?
No, because their captain's out, so not really fussed. No, that wasn't obviously that obviously wasn't in my decision making because I couldn't predict that he was injured. No, I've got 2 Villa guys instead. I've got 2 Villa guys.
Adam, can I just say about Newcastle, right? So the Istanbul trip on Thursday for Villa, I think that's terrible. I think they were home at 2 a.m. last night and they got to travel to Newcastle. I can see Newcastle blitzing that one.
I reckon they're already in I reckon they didn't even bother going home, mate. I reckon they just went straight to Newcastle.
I probably did. Exactly that. They I've seen quite a few people benching Rodgers this week. I was like, God.
I was nearly there. If Bruno was fit, I was there. I think. Yeah. I was tempted. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely do not have that luxury. I definitely do not have that luxury. But yeah. So look, we always do the same. We always quote the ones over 2. It's Man City. And over 40%, it's Man City.
Yep.
That's other than that, it's a pretty tough week. It's a pretty tough week to work through.
Yeah, and this is always a case where 23 was the matchups were close, and it was never a week to make transfers, to play chips. It was kind of like get through 23 because 24 is the swing. 23, there's, as you can see from that graphic, like there's so many close matchups everywhere, and they're really hard to call. And you wouldn't be surprised if I look at most of those games and think, yeah, both teams to score near enough. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's weird because I'm looking at like, for me, I mean, they say wild card, or last week wild card, but I'm looking at like potentially double Sunderland defense away at West Ham. I mean, that feels like an okay fixture, and I think I think that I would rate Sunderland slightly higher than I'm seeing here. I think just mentally, I'm thinking that they're maybe a bit higher than this, from a clean sheet perspective. I mean, I don't want to use Tottenham as a benchmark for any team's attack quality because we've been horrific, and that's something that's on my mind. But then I'm also looking at Fulham at home to Brighton, only 25%. Like, my defense isn't that great this week. Although I'm quite happy having double Chelsea because like Palace are an absolute shambles right now, and I just don't even know how this is going to be I don't know how the crowd's going to be because normally, like genuinely, the Palace crowd is like that stadium is one of the best home fans in the country. Like I don't think there's any debate in that. I have no idea what it's going to be like. I feel like they'll just sing anyway, but I still think it's going to be weird.
Yeah, but you say that, but that was the best. That was the best crowd performance from Tottenham all season in midweek. Like it couldn't have been worse. It couldn't have been worse for Thomas Frank. And just it was an incredible thing. I still think Palace at home, that I don't see that their fans don't like maybe the team don't fire, but I think they would wait for the team to let them down before they would start anything. Like if Chelsea score early, that might change things very, 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 very much in their favour. If I was looking at one and thinking it's low, I think it's Brentford in this. Like if I was on free hit, Sharda and Thiago would definitely be in my free hit team this week. Forest also played yesterday. Morello's got tight hamstring. That's all we're getting out of Dyche. I think that's a potential one where if you were looking at who could score 3 goals or more, Brentford would definitely be one where, like, I am petrified that I do not own Thiago this week.
Yeah, I was speaking at work to my colleague who plays FPL. He's captain Thiago this week, and he's very bullish about it. Mainly on the fact that he's saying, "Oh, Haaland's out of form." Yeah, okay, so I'm going to go against it, and he's picked Thiago, and he's like, "I'm confident Thiago at least will score one." So why not captain him?
He'd be my advice if I owned Thiago. One of the I potentially had a little look around, like if I knew that if Ekitike was a risk, for example, like we got some news tomorrow that Ekitike wasn't starting, and we got some news that Foden wasn't starting, then there is a world where even still that world could still happen if we got those leaks, where I went Ekitike, Thiago, and Foden to Bruno. But I then look at it like, right, so what I'm doing is I've got a 1.86 projection. I'm taking it under 1.53. And I've got Man United with a 1 projection instead of 2.78. Like, it feels mad that you would. But hey, if they're playing, that makes a big, big, big difference. But one of the things I quite liked about it more than anything else is that, yeah, I'd have a vice captain on Thiago for sure.
And it's the thing again of, like you mentioned already, Brentford week off, training ground, at home. Forest, been away travelling Thursday, away travelling again. Got to travel to London. So again, fatigue for me is massive. And Brentford, I think that probably is right, where you say you'd back a clean more, you'd back a couple of extra decimals on that as well, maybe over 2 for the goals. Yeah.
I mean, I understand the move, and like I think from 27, like Brentford obviously feel like they're going to get a lot better. Like it's just the next 3 fixtures, just over and over again. I can't reconcile in my mind why people are getting Thiago ahead of Villa away, because they're not great away. Newcastle away, and then the best defense in the league at home, and it's like, okay.
But I guess brace and Hattie. If he braces and then blanks, you've won.
You're fine. I just wonder how Dango coming back into the fold impacts that. Maybe it's better. Maybe that just makes it better because they just win more penalties. Maybe that's just what happens.
Yeah.
But it's also nice. But it's also nice if you're in wildcard and think, "Oh, I'm going to punt Thiago this week," and then I got wildcard 24.
That's a really good shout.
Exactly. If you were nailed on wildcard in 24, Thiago's a good punt this week.
Yeah.
100%. It is quite hard. What do you think about the Arsenal Man United? Like we all get accused of bias, me and Adam. So Andy, you can tell us what you think of Arsenal Man United.
Well, I mean, he's a Leeds fan. Like,
I watched Man U last week and thought brilliant, and I think people have downplayed them a lot this season. I've watched plenty of their games and thought, "Oh, you're in this. You played well. Like you've done some good stuff." And even under Admiral, I thought they're playing some good stuff. That when they miss Bruno, he's a massive miss, so they don't play as well, and they got sacked for it. But you put Bruno in this team, and they're, for me, top 4 team in the league. So, but Arsenal away, Arsenal the best team in Europe and the most solid defensively in Europe. So you can't buy Manchester United assets for this game. If it was any other game, then yes. But it's Arsenal away. I can't see how people are buying. And I know you want him for future, and I just think you play your bench rather and see what happens with this game, because I can't see it's going to be 1 or 2 nil Arsenal. Annoyingly,
It is literally the hardest game it's literally the hardest game on the calendar, isn't it?
Yeah, and they don't allow opposition to the box. People are like, oh, but Bruno could get a penalty. Yeah, okay. You see opposition players in the box much? Not really. Saliba just runs them out. Gabriel blocks everything, and they're outside the box defending. Raya only lets goals in with their like worldies or an absolute beast of a play. Like, oh, they've managed to do 4 or 5 passes into the box, bam, past Raya. Like the Inter goal, like, yeah, great strike, fantastic, not beating it, but they're not allowing chances in the box.
No. I need a bit of advice on this. So, because I don't really understand how to do benching decisions, because game week 18, I had 0 outfield players play on the bench. In game week 19, I had 0 players playing from the bench. Game week 20, 0 players playing. Game week 21, 0 players playing on my bench. Game week 22, 1 player played out of my 3. That player was Dorgu. He got 15 points.
Nice.
My only player that's played on the bench since game week 17 is Dorgu, and he got 15 points. Now, regardless of any moves I make, I've got the same ordering that I had last week, which is last week I went Richards over Dorgu because they were playing Man City and Palace were playing Sunderland. You guarantee DEFCON with Richards, he gets it every time. So he starts at 2 points because sometimes they concede 4 and he gets 0. Or, gets booked and concede 3. So I look at it again this week and I'm like, right, Crystal Palace 19% chance of a clean. But he'll get his 2. Get his 2 DEFCON for DEFCON. Or Dorgu.
Same again as last week.
Start Richards ahead of Dorgu.
Completely right, yeah. I know Dorgu's more attacking, but this is Arsenal away.
Yeah, that's what I've got it.
And there's no DEFCON. And I don't think you can have no regrets if he puts one in the back of the net. Like, this is what it is. It's Arsenal's strongest defence, so you just can't look at regrets like that, I think. Because I think if you do it the other way and Richards gets more points than Dorgu, you'd be like, yeah, of course, it's Arsenal. So yeah.
I think as you said last week, though, when you saw that Dorgu was going to be playing left wing, and we knew that the City backline was hindered. I don't think we knew how much, but and you'd have been licking your lips pre-kickoff when you saw Rico Lewis, Max Alain, whoever played alongside him, I can't even remember now, but Ake as well.
Kusanov,
that's it, yeah. Kusanov and Ake. And you'd have gone, yeah, I probably would have played him there. But this time it is going to be, I saw Calafiori's back in training. So it could literally be Calafiori
and Nketiah.
And Nketiah. So it's literally, they've got their best 5 available to them, plus the keeper. Yeah. So
it's a Miles Lewis Skelly free zone, basically, is what you're saying.
It's exactly that. It's exactly that.
Yeah. The thing is, it's interesting. Going into that last week, I was like, actually, like the ceilings with Richards, because he gets his 2 points for DEFCON, you're like, well, if he cleans, he's on a minimum of 8. He's always on a minimum of 8 because he always gets his bloody DEFCON. So you're then like, and then what if he gets bonus? What if he gets that? Like, the first goal that was scored for them, you don't get the goal notification, then you're watching it and you're waiting for the goal to go in. And I thought it's going to be him. Like, he challenged with Rose, and Rose just got the hand to it in front of him and just deflected it for the goal to go in. But I was like, maybe, without Gahey there, I've noticed that Richards is now more involved in the it's not just Lacroix necessarily they're hitting the ball out. So I think I probably will do it again.
I'm just waiting for the. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the right decision. I'm waiting for the narrative on Sunday from Sky Sports to watch the pundits to be like, what's happened to Manchester United last week? Fly in, played amazing, like, but it was against a tired, weak Man City, and then this Sunday it will be they never turned up. Manchester United 1 week and it's deflation again, and it's like, but it's the performance of like the team of Arsenal just stifle everyone, and it's just the opposition just doesn't look anything. Quite a lot.
Chat's not helping me here. We've got like Ballon Dorgu, Dorgy Hadji, which I like. That's why I like that a lot. Dorgo. Like all these things. No one's saying this shit about Richards.
I was pleased with my decision. My decision was last week was Anderson or Tarkowski. So Anderson away to Leeds, Tarkowski away to Villa. And I played Tarkowski. And I was so pleased with that the outcome, because I was back in Leeds at Ellen Road.
I bet you were sweat. I bet you really said it. I mean, like that's
not
a
really.
double
I mean,
celebration.
Yeah, it's double celebration. But also, like, Everton are capable of a shutout. Is my reasoning for that was like Everton are capable of shutouts and games like that at Villa, and Tarkowski, if they have one of those games, will be the bonus, will be the DEFCON, and it's like, yeah. So I was pleased with that decision.
Could you reenact the reaction
when Nemecha scored?
Yeah. What do you think you went for? Just a straight. I imagine you're quite a traditional fist bump guy.
I was more of a like.
Oh yeah, get in.
Yeah, kind of like, come on,
little head forward.
I mean, I was thinking about actually on the Sunday filming a reaction to something FPL wise, like Big Man did, but I decided against it. I was going to set my camera up in my lounge for like someone getting booked and do a reaction, but I thought against it. But yeah,
okay.
I was no. I mean,
did anyone see Backar's tweet earlier? I feel like I need to bring it up. Did you see Backar's tweet earlier?
Which one?
Did I comment on it?
Like he's going on about like if you're feeling stressed in FPL, like if you're feeling stressed, it's probably your decisions. DM me if you need some help.
I think on that one, I deleted my response. I was going to respond. I did see that post, and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to even respond to it. Like,
I don't believe it. 1-on-1.
It is mad. Obviously, I mean, if you can react like that to a guy that from a penalty for a guy that you own in a fantasy team, then I mean, you just must be stressed about the game. Full stop.
Penalties are stressful. If it's your captain, the penalties are just incredibly stressful. Well, if it's a captain and it's not Haaland captain, like unless you've gone against him, obviously it is those bits of it. But when you're on like 190%, you know, Haaland and he misses it, you're like, sit boy, what's he thinking? Gone the bottom right again, is he? But when it's like a 30% captain and they get a penalty, you're like, Bruno Fernandes last season.
Twitchy.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think the Nemecha reaction was more than a get-in. I was very pleased. Like, it's such a big result for us. I mean, we're right behind you guys now, and playing better than you. A lot better. True. Like, everything's clicking with us. Like, I watch us and think, so many games I've seen, and we've deserved more. Like the Sunderland away game, Brentford away, Newcastle. I was gutting that we didn't get anything from that game with Harvey Barnes. My favourite Harvey Barnes scoring the 102nd minute or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So like, but we're playing well and everything's clicking. So I'm pleased that it's looking good.
Adam, there's a bit of Solanke slander in the chat. You how many goals did you say Solanke's scoring by the end of the season?
10 league goals.
10 league goals.
10 league goals by the end of the season. Look, if he's fit, he's a much better option than anybody that we've got. Like, he is just a better option. Now, will he score 10 league goals? I'm not sure, but I have to feel optimistic at the fact that we have a striker. That's it. I don't even need to continue that sentence. We have a striker We actually have a striker, so that's a good thing.
Do we have to talk about Andy Robertson, or should we wait and see if that plays out? It's going to be a disaster.
That was hilarious. As soon as I opened the chat with you and Harry, and then the first thing I did was to go straight to YouTube to grab the short to share it. Went onto X and I just saw you'd already done it. I was like, it was so obvious.
I can't believe you made a short of me saying that he's the worst human on earth, and then we get linked to him today. That is something I never thought I'd see happen, especially after like people like the Kane one, like against him, and how much he's hated us all that time. Yeah, we'll deal with it we'll deal with it when it comes.
We say stuff, mate. We say stuff. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Should we look at some teams?
Let's look at some teams.
Like I say, we're already like half hour past bedtimes, so let's go. Well, I mean,
your bedtime. You've got families and stuff, so I understand.
Yeah,
us basement dwellers are up till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, just on Twitter Spaces and stuff like that, just chatting away. Every time I'm off to go to bed, or I'm just like downstairs before I sort of come up to bed, I just hop onto Twitter or hop onto X, and I look and I go, oh look, Benji's hosted another, or FPL Stark's hosted another space. Oh, Andy Martin's in there. Like, you guys are on it every single day. It does remind me of the.
It's not every day. It's not every day.
It's almost every day, mate. It is very often.
I am well asleep by the time they come out, mate. like time to say, I didn't even know spaces still existed. Like, I thought it was COVID.
Yeah. So here's my team. Obviously, I have a Tavernier issue, but not this week. He's going to play in midfield for me. So I've got Roofs in goal. I've got Chalobah, Timber, and Alder. I was confused. Like the bench wanker confused me then for a second. Chalobah, Timber, and Alderete at the back. Midfield: Tavernier, Enzo, Rice, Rogers, Wirtz, and then Haaland and Watkins up top. The reason it confused me is because I've got Gabriel first on my bench with Dubravka, Anderson, and Mateus Mane as well. It's for me. It was always planned to roll. I don't think there's any issues here. Like, the thing about Tav as well is I just need to remind myself that actually I didn't really want him to play many games. And like, having him was going to be nice, but I was prepared myself already for a lot of bench points. And so the fact that he's got injured, I just need to remind myself that he's there really for 31. Like, if he's back for 31, it's okay. I don't mind. Otherwise, because I don't think
that's a long time to go for just someone who's going to be injured.
Yes, but at the same time, like, that was the plan, was to have him in for that particular game week. And like, I can mix it around, right? Like, I can easily do something like Watkins down and then Tav up. Like, that's easy. Like, Watkins down and Tav up is so simple. Get Bruno in. I mean, I can get Bruno in obviously anyway because I've got 2.8 million. But if I wanted to change tact, and the initial plan, I guess, was to go from Wirtz next week to Bruno, but then obviously now I don't have to. I can look at Watkins. I mean, I wanted Watkins for longer, but I mean, I really wanted Watkins. I wasn't convinced about the Tammy Abraham thing, but I mean, like, he's there now, so maybe that is a problem.
But he might mean that they can play Tammy in Europe, and then they haven't got to flog him. One of the issues is Watkins is that he's had to play on Thursday, and now he's got to play Sunday.
Yeah.
Would you be tempted at all to play Anderson over one of the Villa guys this week?
I haven't considered it. My decision making has been more around Alderete versus Anderson.
I saw.
I guess the difficulty being
Solio pod, and I think both. I think Praz owns Alderete, and I think he was looking at playing Alderete over like Soberslite this weekend, and I thought, fucking hell, what world have we come to then? When that's what we're potentially doing. But then you're like, this is the the year with the DEFCON and all this stuff. Like, to get this, like how much do we really expect from Rodgers and Watkins necessarily this week? It's always difficult, isn't it? When you own, it's going to be similar for you, and when you own Foden and Cherki, like, if you had to transfer one of them, you didn't know, you just wouldn't do it unless you knew. Yeah. And it's a bit similar with Rodgers and Watkins. Like, yes, which one is involved, and sometimes it's both, and therefore it's just bloody hard. Like they just will come as a pair that I feel like you just got to roll them out every week.
Yeah, I was going to say that is the thing, because obviously you'd normally just side with the guy that has all the pens, because you'd normally pick, if you got two, you've normally got the one that's got the pens, but to pick up a double attack without the guy that's got the pens is actually a bit strange.
Unless he's got the pens.
Unless he's got the pens. Well,
yeah. But there's a potential there where I can almost see that Anderson outscores one of those two, but which one? Like, even if you said to me, okay, then choose one, Martin. I don't know. I've got no idea which of the two I would say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's me.
Adam, do you think like Tavernier maybe you can hold him for a few weeks? I've looked at Fulham's fixtures, like I think it's 28, 29, 30, 31, that kind of period where you have Fulham for the blank. I think Fulham have got Burnley in the blank, if I'm not mistaken.
Fulham have got Burnley in the blank. Bournemouth have United, don't they?
So like in the blank, and before Fulham got a few good fixtures, you could even keep Tavernier for a few weeks and then move to Harry Wilson, that kind of price range.
Yeah, so that was something that I was thinking on Wildcard. When I was thinking about Wildcard, one of the decisions I was going through in my mind was like Senesi. It was the four of them, was Senesi, Tavernier, Anderson and Wilson, like the four of them, and I was trying to work out which way round I wanted it. And as soon as obviously Tav was on penalties, like he was going to be the guy, right? So that made me go that way, and I felt more confident about Anderson as from a defensive perspective, because Bournemouth are just like, it's chaos. So I thought the defender in Fulham and then the penalty taker for Bournemouth was the right move to go. Obviously then Tav gets injured and things change. So can he be Tav could become Wilson in theory, yes, potentially.
JC's in the chat and just says just get Tillmans for Tav and then the problem solved.
Because I've got the guy with the pens.
These Solio guys, they love a pen, don't they? They love a pen. Doesn't matter where you play on the pitch or how you perform. Get those few extra decimal points for those pen takers. Yeah, get that in.
5% pen share. He goes.
What do you think, Anderson? There's a bit more going on. Obviously, Morgan gives White keeps missing penalties.
Well, yeah, I saw that. Maybe.
Do you think Anderson? I mean, Elliot Anderson was like third or fourth down on the list, wasn't he? Someone was saying.
Got a knock.
I mean, if Elliot Anderson takes a pen, it changes everything, doesn't it? Like everyone's got to have Elliot Anderson.
Yeah.
Because
he
guaranteed.
He doesn't need to have a pen. He just needs to have 25 to 30% share of a pen, and it changes everything.
Right, let's move on. Let's move on from my team, because I'm not making any changes this week, so it's not really about me this week. Let's move on to you, Andy.
I don't like it, but it could be okay. Or it could be horrendous. I do feel it's tired, and I have been doing like transfers every week, which is unlike me as well, because I like to save a few, and I'm not taking any hits or anything, but I've gradually got rid of the 5 free transfers that I had through problems, and ended up with this, where I was like, yeah, at least I got Triple City at home to Wolves. But yeah, that's by the by. I think my move, and I mean, you mentioned it on the title of the stream as well, and I have looked at it because I need to go Bruno down to.
Before you do that, can you just? We do audio as well, if you don't mind. If you could.
Oh, okay.
Do the whole running through. Thank you so much.
No, that's understandable. So I got Kelleher in goal, Timber, Gabriel, and Tarkowski at the back, 3 at the back, Cherky, Foden, Rodgers, Bruno Guimaraes, and Enzo in midfield, so playing 5 in the midfield, and Haaland and Ekitike up top. On the bench, Dubravka, Joachim Anderson, Diego Dallo, and Mark Gueye, who I've had since my wild card. And I'd just like to say that I think he's done brilliant because it's enabled others on my pitch. So a big shout out to Mark. And he got 2 points when a bench boosted, so fair play to him.
Happy days.
Yeah. So the move, I don't think Bruno plays this Sunday against Villa. So I'm going to make that move, do another transfer out. And I've looked at it, and I know it's a Spurs, so maybe I should have taken my Spurs biased off because I think, oh, it's only Spurs last week. But I thought Fernandes against you guys, Matteo Fernandes, looked great. Plus the DEFCON, plus I rate him as a player anyway. Plus he's got Sunderland at home, followed by Burnley in a couple of weeks, and I can easily bench him next week away to Chelsea. I'm tempted to go Bruno to Fernandes. What a headline that is, right?
Bruno to Fernandes.
Perfect. Love it.
Do you think you're partially swayed by the fact of it makes a fun sentence?
Yes. I do like the treat of Bruno to Fernandes.
That's what we play. We play the game for fun, mate. This is a fun game.
It's good, right? It's good. It's good, right? It's good. It's a bit of fun, and I need a cheap mid to get Bruno Fernandes, and maybe I have money as well for Mbremo, because I think I haven't done the maths exactly, but I think Foden and Cherky can move to Bruno Fernandes and Mbremo by moving Bruno Guimaraes down.
Yeah.
So I think there's enough money to do that. Yeah. So I'm looking at cheap mids. I've looked at cheap mids and thought, I don't really fancy you. I mean, I like Elliot Anderson, but I like Dewsbury Hall, but how good is it? And I did see Fernandes, and I liked him last season at Southampton, even though they went down. The fact he got 18 DEFCON, it's just what position he takes up and perhaps minutes as well. But
yeah, their whole squad did get DEFCON, to be fair. So there was like 6 starters got DEFCON. So I would say just it does, but in general, he is quite tenacious. You can see that he's going to step into the Paquetá role. We saw him last week. I was really impressed with him last season, and so yeah, and the other point, Seamless Side just pointed out, is that you'll get to have triple Fernandes next week potentially. So it gives you not only ammunition this week,
of course, yeah,
but you'll actually then get the triple Fernandes show. Because these are the things that sway us. Adam 100% moved João Pedro to John Philippe Mateta last season because he wanted to do JP to JP. 100% we know that influenced you. This is the stupid stuff that we all do in this game. Like,
my thinking is always rational and thought out, and I don't want to be that guy of like, oh, I'm just doing it for bants, because I also do it because I like players to play Burnley, who I think are the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
And he's got them in a couple of weeks.
So, yeah. That guy? Remember that guy used to be that, give me 500 likes and I'll captain this guy.
Oh, like Nathan Bacon. He's still around.
No, not Nathan. There was a guy before Nathan that was doing
right.
There was a guy before Nathan that was doing it beforehand, and there was some wild action. Now we just have Volo. Volo does it for us.
So I mean, are you thinking you don't like the move? Do you think there's other cheaper mids that you'd move to? Like, is KDH the guy to go to? I
still like it, but as much as I like it, it's funny enough, and it is chatting earlier about the fact that that KDH is back, and then that's going to stuff Garner up. But I was like, Garner's literally just chugged along all season. Like, he's chugged along with these two, never more than very rarely have 2 points, but 3 points here, 4 points, 3 points, 4 points, or a 5 or a 6. Like, he's doing these tiny little crap, and then actually what he had is 116 and he had 110 or whatever. 110 points. He had 2 double digits, which will happen. And Anderson is the same shit. Like, it's still 4 point, 4 point, 4 point, 4 point, 4 point, 4 point, 4 point. But if he ends up suddenly he is on pens, those 10 pointers will roll in a lot more often than they have been at the moment. So he's still there. He's still there at Anderson. I've deliberately tried to stay away from it. Wilson's the cheapest I've got in midfield, I think, all season. And because almost like I can't face it. And I would really struggle with those benching decisions. I struggle so much all the time. Of do I play him, do I not? Because ultimately they will score more. You don't. It's very rare that you have 10 outfield returners, isn't it? So every week you'll be like, bastards beat me. If I bench him, he's going to beat one of my guys.
Would you look to just keep him bench?
And that's the same.
Would you look to just keep him bench him, or because like West Ham's? I don't want to say West Ham's fixtures get worse because like West Ham are. I'm going to say this just after they've beaten us, but West Ham are a bad team, right? They're not a very good team. So
yeah, but that's my thinking about the Harry Wilson that I mentioned to you.
Is just go then get Fernandes, do your little do the flip of into Bruno Fernandes, and then Mateus Fernandes to Wilson becomes
when Fulham's fixtures get good, close to the break.
Yeah. Okay, no, cool. That makes sense. Yeah, no, I like that. Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
You could have Conor Gallagher, and he plays Burnley. Do you like Burnley?
I do like Burnley. I play Burnley all the time. Yeah.
Let's have a look at your team, Baker. I'm just conscious now of time, and if we're not finished in probably 5 minutes, then I'll probably get knocked on the door.
For Bruggen in goal, Timber, Richards, Gabriel at the moment. Richards is there above in front of Dorgu. Bruno, Saka, Foden, Rodgers, Wilson, Haaland, Cap. I think it's got Ekatike advice. One of the questions actually I want to ask you guys on that sense is, if we got a leak tomorrow that Haaland's not playing, what do you do?
Got no captaincy. I've got no captain. Like,
well, you've got to put advice on someone anyway. So where is actually is your advice going?
Wirtz at the moment. Like, I just think Liverpool chaos, Bournemouth chaos, that sort of thing would feed well in. But
if Haaland wasn't playing, I might actually just move it straight away. Because I'm thinking about selling. I know it's your team, but I'm just thinking about my chip strategy. Is I've looked strongly at free hit 33, wildcard 35. Go that way, and that way I don't need Haaland. I'll have him for double game week 33, but I want to sell him for blank 31, blank 34, Chelsea 32. So my thought is to sell him anyway. And if he's not playing, then I'll just sell him and get the money and work it. But yeah, sorry, go on.
No, it's cool.
Yeah. I probably similar. If Haaland was out, I think if Haaland was out, I might be really tempted to wildcard 24. So I might be tempted to do something like Haaland to Thiago, and then I'd do I'd probably do Bruno to Semenyo if I knew Bruno. It depends again on Foden. Like, his phone's not like, I could be like, there's a lot of like, well, this is horrendous all around, but I think I'd probably get Semenyo in, and cap him, probably over the Arsenal guys. I don't think I'll vice captain Ekatike. I think I'll be more likely to go Saka or Gabriel. I think as
I'm on vice cap Gabriel.
Yeah, he's actually in my team in the actual game. Vice captain's carry on Gabriel.
Well, yeah, I mean, I loaded up the transfers that you told me you were probably going to make, and then I actually moved your vice to the right player. I'd forgotten on this image.
No, Ekatike has been on my vice all week, and
okay.
I literally moved it to Gabriel this morning. So he's in the mind, but I just don't trust the minutes. But yeah, it is something we might need to venture to. But I think you regardless of if we don't get a leak, you got to work out where it's going to be. So a few options for me. Firstly, we get a leak, and then my moves will be completely determined by what we get. If Foden's not playing, Foden will almost certainly go. And I probably would just move into Bruno this week, because I'd have the money, and then I'd move Bruno G down, and that would be my two transfers if we got that leak. If Foden's leaked to start, or we don't get any news, I'll play Foden. Similar to you, Andy, is if we think there's a chance he's playing, then I roll him out. Same on Haaland. In that case, I will likely do Bruno, G, 2, and Die. The little price rise last night of Enzo suddenly makes it all very, very tight for me. 6.6 is probably just a bit too much for me. And I just like the idea of getting another guy that isn't playing Europe.
Yeah.
So I'll target Leeds. We like to target these promoted clubs, don't we? And then I'm probably also going to do King to Gahey. There you go. There you go. So if there's no issues, that would be my moves. And then Dorgu Richards' decision is still there for the first sub. But I am sick of only having one sub I've had one sub effectively that I could have had in the last 5-6 game weeks. I'm as much as you said about Tav that you would carry him for that long. It's a bit different because Mane actually plays, but carrying Giu and Keane for this long, and now we've got Braithwaite back. I'm like, at some point I have to tackle the fact that I've got Keane, and because I've got Dorgu, who obviously I quite like the idea of starting him home to Fulham next week, and because Richards still is a good play in the good fixtures, I'm more tempted to go for the guy that I think has got the best fixture this week, rather than necessarily some of the others who, like Senesi, I think it's got quite good long terms. Anderson, I don't mind. The cheaper guys, Mukiele, I like next week for Mukiele, but I've already got quite a few options next week. So yeah, I'm going to try and hopefully target the Wolves and visualize. Like Max Allane, like is sneakily been getting chances for Man City. He could have easily opened the scoring last week, and I'm like, that could be gay.
Yeah,
it could be gay. Who else is scoring headers for them other than Haaland?
Yeah, no one, because it was Vardiol before he got injured. Like he started to, and then
Ake gets involved. To be fair, Ake's a good header ball. So yeah, if no problems, I'm planning to do that. Gives me 1.1 in the bank.
Just here. So it sounds like people are trying to keep it a secret here, but Danny's messaged in the chat and saying, check your messages for some City updates, Baker. Like he doesn't want to share it with everybody, but he's asking you to check your messages. So I would like you to share it with everybody.
Baker, remember FPL's a game as well, so keep it just to yourself.
Yeah. No. So it's FPL Citizens said Guardiola is training formation. Guardiola training formation has changed from 4-1-4-1 to 4-2-3-1. Having quoted sad news for Fodenoses this game week.
Oh, here we go.
It started.
And so there's that. And then another one. Neil, we might have a change from Neil. Neil, who does scout with the predicted things, he's suggested Foden next minute stonks, which is again, Doku might not quite be right still. So
okay. Well, I mean, we can. I don't know what's going on now.
Ask me again.
Yeah, this is fantastic. This is fantastic content.
No one's listening, but by now, mate. If you manage to get an hour's worth of audio in, by
this
then,
is true.
So the chat. How far is Doku from being available to start? We'll see. Do you think Doku would not play in Bodo if he would be fit? They warned they could not play. We have 11 players out. Yeah, so I think it's basically saying maybe the Doku.
Fair enough.
It's still guesswork, isn't it?
Yeah, it is all guesswork.
We need Tony back. Come on, Tony.
We need the real Tony back because all we get from Tony at the moment is meetings. That's all we get. But Yeah, we'll
Surely
see.
He's trying to come back.
Hopefully. I mean, tomorrow we'll see. Deadline is what? Are we early kickoff again, or are we late kickoff? I don't know this week. I'm all over the place.
Early kickoff.
Early kickoff.
Big West Ham Sunderland, mate. You got double defence.
Oh yeah, I do have. Yeah, I might have double defence at the start of the game week. Okay, so 11 o'clock deadline, and then yeah, I mean, as you've just said, Baker. If anyone's listening still now, fair play to you, to be honest. And of course, Andy, thank you very much for coming on. It was
my pleasure. Thanks for speaking. Yeah.
Danny has clarified that Pepper's basically said he only has 11 players, of which Foden is one of them. Jack is also one of them.
I think we're in for an absolute treat. We're a massacre of Wolves. Man City back tomorrow.
If you did play 4-2-3-1, you could quite happily play Bernardo and Rodri in the double pivot at the back, can't you?
I mean, it's time to leave Bernardo Silva out, right?
You play, but you can play Foden, Semenyo, and Shirky, Bilbao and Haaland. It's basically like a better Bournemouth.
I would play Rico Lewis and Rodri behind the three. Yeah.
Who do you think? There's a lot of people who've got Nico O'Reilly still. What do you?
I mean, again, I think you hold him for this week because it's Wolves, and you reassess after what happens.
Do you think
tomorrow.
He starts?
Yes. I don't think Aït-Nouri's completely ready either. I think you just let it ride and see what happens, right? Unless you get a leak and say he's not starting. So
I think Ake, Gahey, and Kusanov all play. I think that's, but I don't know whether they tag a left back on because Gahey can play right side and centre back as much as they have, and Kusanov can play right back, has done so.
Yeah,
like you say, you could play Rico in centre midfield and play Kusanov right back, and then those two, and then you can have a flyer down the left. But it could also just be Ake left back, Gay left centre back, Kusanov there, and Rico Lewis right back.
We will see tomorrow. We will see tomorrow.
We're only a few game weeks away now from triple leads, aren't we? So, because we've still got the 5 worst teams in the league to play at home.
Big Joe's back.
So, only a few weeks away.
I'm assuming you're including Spurs in one of those. I'm pretty sure. We've got to go Leeds away, haven't we not?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, on that wonderful bombshell, thanks again, as I say, for coming on. It is much appreciated. It's always good to chat. I hear you've received your beanie, so we will be seeing that on socials, please. That would be wonderful. You are above average. You certainly are. Trademark, stamped, all that good stuff. Thank you to everyone that's been listening. Thank you everyone that's been with us live. If you enjoyed the Traitors, give us a like. And if you enjoyed the chat, give us a like. See you tomorrow. Game week 23. Catch you later.